Good morning, everybody. Welcome to week 7 of Business 101. I hope that you've enjoyed the class so far. We have 10 weeks in this class altogether, and we're in week 7, so we're on the downhill side and headed towards the end of another successful term. I want to congratulate you on a job well done so far. The discussion posts are starting to look better and better, and your assignments are looking good. Overall, tests are looking pretty good, so I want to commend you on a job well done. Do want to, at this point, as you start kind of getting tired and hoping the class will end soon, remind you to continue sticking with it. Follow your guidelines for your discussion posts in terms of the minimum word counts and references and so forth, so that you get the best possible grade. Likewise, when you're doing tests, you don't have to have 150 words or 200 words or anything like that, but you do need to have some sort of discussion or explanation, not just list out the most simple thing you can get away with. I don't want bureaucracy or BS, but at the same time, small answers get small grades. Just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. This week, we're talking about marketing in Chapter 11. And we're talking about product life cycles and things like that in Chapter 12. Marketing is something that every one of us sees every day. As we turn on the TV, as we turn on the radio, as we ride down the road, we see billboards, we see commercials, we hear commercials. Organizations are out there selling their wares, selling their services. No doubt you came to American National University through some sort of advertising, whether it was TV, radio, a mailer, the website, a friend told you about it. Some sort of marketing effort went into you coming and picking American National University as the college of your choice. So, marketing is something that everybody has to deal with. The challenge for most folks in marketing, number one, if you're on the receiving end of it as a customer, is understanding who's telling you the truth and who's not. Certainly marketers go out and look at data, and today with the internet they use what they call big data, and they attempt to put their product in front of you in a way that is appealing to you, not necessarily a true representation, but there's certainly an appealing vision to you, so that you would spend your hard-earned money to buy that product. Today, you can see a lot of changes in the way things are done with the internet. Companies like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a lot of the online companies put cookies on your computer, and then they track everything that you do, everywhere you go. When you go to their websites and look around, they know exactly what you're doing and where you're doing it at. And one of the things they do then is make offers to you based on their perceived, on what they think is your interest level. And so you may see this if you're ever going out to some websites, for an example, looking to go on vacation or looking to buy a book or what have you. And then soon thereafter, when you go out to websites, you see little advertisements that pop up and tell you more information about things that you had searched for previously. So kind of look out for that. That's called big data, and a lot of the organizations are doing that now. They go out on the website and just troll for information and use that to try to market their stuff specifically to the end user. So you have to be aware of that and be careful where you go on the internet, obviously, but also know that not only is Big Brother watching in terms of marketing, but they're trying to set up their product so that you would buy it. Okay, so marketing is marketing. The tools change, I guess, from internet now to in the past it was mailers and newspaper and postcards, things like that. So marketing is getting very, very sophisticated. So we'll be discussing a little bit of marketing in the class this week. I think the discussion question is the difference between disposable income and discretionary income. And obviously disposable income is income that you have left after you've paid your bills, and then you have choice in terms of where you'll spend your money. Okay. Products that satisfy the customer is in Chapter 12. We talk about the product life cycle. Organizations, people, and products have what researchers call life cycles. Okay, and it's interesting to know those things and to see them. In terms of a product life cycle, there is the introduction of the new product. There is the growth as people start buying the product and being excited about the product. In the maturity stage, it's one of those things where, okay, everybody knows about that, and maybe sales have leveled off or what have you. And then declining stage, as the next new thing comes along and nobody's really interested in that product anymore. So can you think of any examples like that? I certainly remember from my old days, Beanie Babies. When Beanie Babies first came out many years ago, my kids just loved Beanie Babies. We rode all over the place trying to find certain Beanie Babies. Prices were high on them, everybody was excited, and that would be considered your introduction and then on into your growth stage as Beanie Babies took off like wildfire. Later, Beanie Babies became much more prevalent, easy to find. The excitement kind of waned, if you will, and they're still out there and all, but the excitement did die down. That becomes the maturity stage. And then the decline stage is when the Beanie Babies would be out on the web or out in the stores, but nobody's overly interested in them anymore. So that's kind of an example of a product life cycle. Organizations likewise have life cycles in terms of entrepreneurship when they first form, their growth stages when they're taking off, and then they have their maturity stage as they kind of become complacent, if you will, or set in their ways, more bureaucratic. And then they have the declining stage as their products and services are no longer needed or interesting to the companies, to other organizations. So with that said, that's kind of like product life cycles and organizational life cycles and that sort of thing. Some interesting discussions there. I am looking forward to talking to you about all of these things in our class this week. Again, go out and check the grade book since we're starting to run out of time. Look and see where you have zeros in the grade book. That means I do not have that work, and you can still get it turned in. Okay? Don't want any surprises. Don't want you to have a lower grade than you need to have. So go out to the grade book, check everything out, get your work turned in. Don't forget that week 8 you have a research paper that's due. If you have any questions, email me, text me. I'll be looking forward to talking with you. Have a great week.